Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz Video Recap. Today is Friday, Friday, March 28th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable, seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, it's possible there might have been some type of Google update. There's been a lot of link penalties going on, manual link actions in the past week or so, so it might be related to that. But there's definitely a lot of discussion and talk about ranking fluctuations in Google over the past few days or so. Lots of discussion. You can see Mozcast shows a lot of activity, SERP metrics shows a lot of activity, and SERPs.com shows a lot of activity going on, as well as Alguru. So there's lots of stuff going on with the search. It's hard to know if it's an algorithm update or if it's something related to all those manual actions, the my blog guest penalty and all that other type of stuff. But it's something definitely you should be aware of. In addition to that, Matt Cutts, what day was it? It was March 24th, around 3 a.m. He went ahead and tweeted that, and I'll read it to you. He responded to somebody, you noticed that we took action against Greece, specifically, I guess, against, he didn't specifically say what, but I guess against some type of Greek link network, and they went ahead and took action against a bunch of Greek websites. That being said, Google has gone after lots of different link networks, not just in the US, but now they're really focusing around the world. They recently went after Poland, Germany, and a bunch of other countries as well, and this is just one more. We'll probably hear a lot more about that in the future. Google's Matt Cutts went ahead and responded. This is interesting. So Doc Sheldon, who's been a respected SEO for a really long time in the community, went ahead and got this manual action saying you have unnatural links to your website going out of your website, outbound links. So you're linking to other websites, and thus in a way that violates Google's guidelines. Thus, we penalized you at a site-wide level. Matt Cutts responded. Because Doc was like, why would I go ahead and get a site-wide penalty? I don't really link out poorly or whatever. And he said, well, specifically, what is this best practices for Hispanic social networking? What does it have to do with SEO copywriting? So that was what the manual web spam action was for, and he thinks it was right. Two things is, Doc responds, my blog is about SEO, marketing, social media, web dev. I said that has everything to do with Hispanic social media. And two is, so if you see one specific issue with my site, one link, that justifies penalizing the whole entire site-wide. So keep in mind, Doc himself admitted in an inbound article saying that, inbound thread, basically, to be fair, I probably should not have allowed that guest post through. But is it specific? Is that reason enough to go ahead and penalize the whole entire site? And I guess Matt Cutts thinks so. His manual action was revoked after he went ahead and did something. But that being said, we should all learn from this because it could take one link, one guest blog post to penalize your whole entire site. And if you don't get there on the press and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to get it revoked. So Google Matt Cutts went ahead and did a video on what to do or how to know if a algorithm will hit your website. So Matt describes 3 things why your rankings might drop: a manual action, crawling errors or issues, and also an algorithmic penalty. Manual actions are easy. They show up in Webmaster Tools. It tells you what your issue is. Crawl errors also likely to show up in Webmaster Tools and crawl errors. Algorithmic penalties are a little bit harder because they don't really call it a penalty. It's really part of the algorithm. But the easiest way to tell is if you see a big drop on a specific day, you go to either this blog and you click on the link over here where it says Google Updates, and it will show you all the updates that we've covered. If you see a big drop, you look for the specific date that we covered it, and hopefully you'll know what it is, assuming Google confirmed that update. Google's Matt Cutts did another video saying, be careful when linking to sister sites when they're country specific. He said, typically when you have CCTLDs, like country code based, like so you have google.com, google.co.uk, google.co.il, google.com.au, linking them together is not a big deal. If you want to link 5 or so together on the footer, that's fine. But if you are going to link them together, maybe make a country-specific page that has all your properties and link it from one page. But he specifically said if you are doing a bunch of your sites on .coms, meaning Google Australia.com, Google UK.com, sorry, Google UK.UK, co.uk, or if you do Google Israel.com, or you do Google, whatever, you get the point, Google Australia.com, all those types of things, and you're linking it together that way, Google says that might be a little bit sketchy. Be careful about that. And if he's admitting that, you should definitely be careful if you have that strategy. Google's Matt Cutts also sent out a notification saying, don't go ahead and delete your old disavow files before you upload them. Why? Because it confuses Google. It sends out 2 emails. He said, quick tip, no need to delete your old disavow file before uploading a new one. Just upload the new one. And he says, why? Some SEOs have been deleting the file first, then uploading a new one, which creates 2 emails and sometimes confuses folks. I assume the folks have to do with Google people. Google reps, manual people. This is very interesting. If you use Internet Explorer 8 right now and you go to Google, Google's not going to default it to SSL, which means it's passing full refer. And I tested this. I've opened up IE8 on a computer we have here. You can see it doesn't have the SSL. It has HTTP, not HTTPS. And then if you click on the what is my refer, it actually shows the full refer information, including the query. And all the information regarding that information. You can see it's all in here. So it's very interesting to see. I'm not sure if it's passing the actual source, if it's actually Internet Explorer, but you can see it's passing full keyword data, which is very, very interesting. This might be related to what Matt Cutts was talking about, IE8 changes with Google, and this is going to go back to the way it was with SSL by default. Or maybe, I doubt it, but maybe it has to do with Google dropping SSL entirely, but I doubt that. Google updated the way the bulk uploads for your Google Place listings work. Now when you do a bulk upload, it would actually say, here are the changes you're going to make, and you have a chance to preview them and cancel out any changes you don't want to make. So now it's much more transparent and easier to understand. And finally, for those who have kids and you want to help them with their geometry questions, you can now search Google for questions related to geometry, like what is the surface of a pyramid, and it'll actually show it to you. It does geometry now, which is pretty cool. Anyway, that pretty much covers the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. That's some search news we covered over the past week. Today again is March 28th, Friday. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.